We're in the home stretch here. I mean, after this, we got losers finals and then already grand finals. This is definitely been running pretty quickly. Oh, and I'll put that prediction up as well. Prediction is live. So again, not only a rematch, but the same map. I wonder if we're going to be seeing similar dynamics. Because in the set yesterday, it was... Okay, 2 wires immediately. I was going to say the set yesterday was really determined by the wire placements in this middle section that Milena's kind of hovering around. And yeah, Milena probably wants to do a similar thing. Oh wow, look at the speedrun. All these corner boosts. Okay, wow, that is a diverse box. Ember gets the black hole immediately. And Milena with the spike ball, it really looks like she wants to force a precise game here. Ember, absolutely not about it. Okay, wait, I want to talk about this. This is really interesting. Look at the way that Ember is holding her box in that position. Because she wants to counter build. If Milena wants to place the precision, she wants to have the box ready so that she can place it, but she doesn't want to commit to placing it down, because the second she commits to placing down the 1x1 box, then suddenly Milena has free reign to do whatever she wants. So really, really smart building by Ember there. Holding her placement to indicate what she wants to do, but not hard commit to it. Leave her options open. It's a side of building that I really don't see people talk about, but it matters a lot. It matters a lot. I think I said it the last time these two played, but it's a large part of the reason why Morphin is as good as he is, because I think he's really in tune with that side of the game. Okay, I like the wires here. Ember, not big on standard precision, but as soon as it comes to black holes, I feel like Ember's more in her comfort zone. So having those wires there, it definitely will allow her to place things in a way that's good for her. Okay, yeah, and Milena forcing the Kiata jump. Nothing too difficult yet. Oh, I think Ember might have just made a big mistake. We'll see if Milena realizes it, but I know for a fact that Ember is not a big fan of one-frame jumps. And if you just add a spike ball to the left of that one there, it forces... I think two-frame jumps will work a lot of the time, but it does force a really low jump height that I don't think Ember usually feels too confident about. Well, we'll see if that ends up coming into play. Or I guess, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess it's only a one frame if you don't have the second block to slide on. But that's neither here nor there. Both players looking pretty good getting through it. Ember, okay, and Ember, on to her last life. Maybe I was dead wrong about the black hole. I feel like typically from what I've seen, that's something that Ember's quite good at, but causing her a little bit of grief here. Pressure's on. Really good bailout by Ember. Doesn't get on the second go though, and Milena off to an early lead. The good thing is though, like the map is still pretty volatile. Like, there aren't enough things placed down that it becomes a game of consistency. So if you want to make a comeback, like, if I'm Ember, I'm trying to find any way I can place something exceptionally difficult. As long as I can get one exceptionally difficult placement, we're good. Really good spike ball by Milena, by the way, underneath that black hole. Because Milena, in all of her attempts so far, has just completely gone through the setup in one go. Whereas Ember almost saved herself in the end there by bailing out underneath the black hole. Completely taking away that option with the spike ball is for sure a good play. And wow, okay. There is a lot to talk about these builds. I love that crossbow by Ember. I was excited. I was excited when I saw that these two were going to be playing because, you know, maybe others didn't love the set as much as I did, but I think that the analytical side of this game is so interesting, and the strategy, the building, there's so much depth to it. And what we saw yesterday with Ember and Milena was one of the most interesting displays of building I've seen in a long time. So I'm glad to see that, you know, that is still for sure in play with these two. Ember struggling with the arrow that she set up, but I don't think that makes it a bad placement. You need to be willing to make it hard if you want to make the comeback. And yeah, Milena dying to it too. Most of the time, you know, in the last little bit where I've been commentating as many turns as I have, I've definitely started to notice that when players make a big comeback, it usually happens right away. You know, if you think Raito versus Kreutz in Frostbite, Raito, he got to a disadvantage pretty early, but he made the comeback by immediately coming back with an answer. I think we've seen the same thing happen quite a few times. Oh, really unfortunate for Ember. With only 22 seconds left, Ember not being the most proficient speedrunner, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We'll see if she has the time. I think she probably will. And thankfully, for Ember's sake, Milena down for the count. So this could be a scoring opportunity, but Ember's going to need to hurry it up. Just 6 seconds left. That's barely enough time to make it. Not going to make it into the gap. Still, Milena 1-0 lead. Milena really does not want that crossbow. I think she recognizes the threat that just having that volatility there poses. Good choice getting rid of it. Now, in this round, with a lot of the difficulty gutted, it's all going to come down to this black hole. From what I've seen, Ember definitely has a better grasp of it now. I think this round probably going to be a little bit too easy for either player to score, but wait a minute. Milena, just about as stuck as you can be. I don't even know if that slide off is possible. But still, plenty of time and plenty of lives for Milena. I think with as much difficulty gone as there is, it's probably unlikely that Ember gets that point she's looking for here, but you never know. And yeah, Milena gets through it. Times her jump a little bit later, not going into the gap now. Lots of potential. What's the plan with this spike ball, Ember? Okay, I'm interested to see how the players approach that setup. Because depending on how comfortable they feel with their coyote times, that setup could be not big, but if they don't feel comfortable with the coyote times and instead opt to go for the wall jump, then suddenly that could be huge. definitely a really slow pace of building at the moment. I think after their set yesterday, they probably both realized how much of a tactical game this was going to become. So strategically, you know, both of them really taking their time, waiting to see what their opponent goes for, just so that they can have an answer. Not give them the edge for free. Milena, yep, goes through the coyote jump. Ember as well. Wow, wait a minute. I think Milena might have timed her jump when the R-Spike was flipping. For those who don't know, when the R-Spike flips, there's like a few frames where the hitbox extends itself. I think that might have been what killed her there. So, I don't know. Milena has the point advantage, but the last 3 or so rounds, I feel like Ember has been looking a lot cleaner. And yeah, Milena, 2 lives left. Your opponent's already hit the finish. Like, this could be one of those moments where the pressure can get the best of a player. Can I say, I love that Milena did not wait for the trigger spike there. Because Milena recognized the timer is coming up, so you gotta go quickly. Genuinely, if we see a buzzer beater right now, it was only possible because Milena didn't wait for that trigger spike. But we're not gonna. Ember evens it up. Wow! So now, I mean, it's been a total. It's kind of. The match has been flipped on its head. I haven't seen any, like, particularly bold plays, building-wise, from Ember, but I think overall she's been making the right decisions pretty consistently. And yeah, I think if Ember waited a little bit longer to place that crossbow, maybe masked her intentions more, I think she could have snuck that one in. Oh wow, okay, wait. That R-Spike adds so much to that flower setup, if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, that's a lot more difficult now. Is either player going to go for that wall jump? It looks like Milena's going for it. Ember is taking her time trying to figure out how she wants to approach this. Oh wow, okay, never mind. So you can solidly just go for the coyote jump. So I guess the question now is, like, if Milena is playing local cam, she would not have seen the way that Ember tried to do that. And if Milena continues to try and do it through the wall jump, there's a really good chance that this is another Ember point. Time will tell. And yeah, okay, Milena again doesn't go for the wall jump, instead goes for the one block. I gotta say, that's probably the hardest way to do it, but not a problem for Milena staying in the game. Can I just say, it is the worst feeling. The absolute worst feeling. I know how Ember is feeling right now, where, like, you make it to the finish, and it's looking like there's a good shot you're gonna score, and then your opponent just clutches it. The worst feeling. Because it's like you feel the relief. You know, you make it to the finish, you feel relieved. It's like, yes, I'm gonna score now. And then the relief is just gone. Your opponent clutches it up. Milena really struggling to figure out what she wants with this. I think one aspect of the game that I don't think is recognized enough is, like, there are a lot of top players who, while they play, they'll be scouting out the map and trying to figure out where they would place an item if they got it. Like, if I'm playing against, like, Selly, or if I'm playing against Kreutz, or even Morphin, like, a lot of the time, they'll be playing, and while they play, they'll be trying to figure out, like, if I got a spike ball, what do I want to do with it? And that kind of stuff is so valuable. Because anytime you have a strong item like a spike ball and you can't make use of it, you're wasting a really valuable opportunity. It adds up in the long run. So Ember, again, Ember looking so confident. This is a completely different game than we were seeing yesterday, and a completely different game than we were seeing in the first half of this match. Let's see if Milena's willing to go for the coyote jump here. Oh, wow, just barely. That was a little bit lucky. I can't lie, that was a little bit lucky. Getting caught on the corner in the way that Milena did, but not dying is so rare. So rare. Okay, good. I like the wires there from Ember. I mean, this entire time, Ember's been opting to take the top path, Milena opting to take the bottom path. Just take away that comfort, you know, that comfort zone from your opponent is huge. Now, it might not matter because Milena, you know, as good at precision as she is. Oh, really rough for Ember. Okay, now one thing I will say, I actually think it was a really, really bad play on Ember's part, placing that wire right in that section with the flower that Milena got through. When Milena was going for the more difficult strategy, you know, going for the drop down and trying to do a one block jump from where the wire is currently, that is harder. That is a less, like, straight up, that is a worse way of going about doing it. And if I'm playing and I see my opponent is doing something the wrong way, I'm never going to take away that option. I'm going to let them keep doing it wrong so that I can do it right and just maintain that advantage. So in that placement, not only are you wasting a wire, which could otherwise be really valuable, you're actively helping out your opponent. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Ember is such a good player that it's entirely possible that she sees it differently. And I could be dead wrong on this one, but that's just my 2 cents. Okay, Ember immediately rushes to get that bomb. What is the plan with that one? What does she want to do? Okay, Ember taking her time. What is the plan? Okay, understandable. Does not want that one block squeeze. A lot of players really struggle with the one block squeeze. It's the kind of thing where if you have it, you have it, and if you don't, it can decide the outcome of games a lot of the time. I know that's been a real big point of contention for Pausia, the number 4 ranked player. I love matches like this. It has been so back and forth. Not only in the sense of, like, you know, Milena scored, then Ember scored, but outside of that, even when no one's scoring, it's pretty clear that there have been periods where Ember has the advantage, and then now there's periods where I would say Milena has the advantage. And you know, it's kind of the same concept I was talking about in one of the sets earlier. It's like, top-level matches are often about how you capitalize on those periods. Because matches are always going to flow one way or the other. Sometimes you'll have an advantage, sometimes you'll have a disadvantage. It's about how you're able to score when you have that advantage. That's when the real building strategy comes into play. Oh wow, that is tough. Not necessarily a bad move by Ember, though. One thing that is really important to note here, and I think Ember has caught on to this, and that's why she's building the way that she has been. This is the last round, right? And it's tied. If this game goes to tiebreaker, you gotta think about the dynamic there. The past few rounds, Milena has been very clearly more comfortable in getting to the finish consistently and getting there fast. So while both players are scoring, there is still definitely a disparity there. So from Ember's perspective, if we're going to tiebreaker, the goal needs to be make the map as hard as you possibly can right now. Because otherwise, it comes down to a race, and if it does, Milena is for sure favored. But if you can keep the map too difficult for anyone to score, then suddenly the tiebreaker becomes an issue of who's able to get through all of it first. And that is a completely different type of game. Rough drop for Ember. I feel like probably the easiest way there is gotta be just doing the Coyote and getting onto the T-Spike. Not sure. Milena really taking her time trying to figure out. Maybe waiting for the right cycle, but I don't know. Time is ticking. Like, you have 4 lives. I don't think it's going to be possible to use all of them at this point. Milena almost gets the timing there. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's a coin flip at this point. Are we going to go to tiebreaker? Wait a minute. Ember down to her last life. This very well could be a point for Milena. If Milena's given a moment where she has the time to think about things and just wait for the optimal timing on this setup, then very well we could be looking at a point. Let's see it. Oh, wow. Okay, Milena directly goes for it. 14 seconds. I don't think it'll be enough. And yet, Milena agrees. That's going to be going to tiebreaker. Well, let's see it. Oh. And one really important thing to note, it does depend on how Milena chooses to play this, but with how Ember set up that final section with so many items all in one spot, there are a lot of opportunities for her to change the dynamic of the difficulty through bombing. Although Milena getting rid of that spike ball, it's going to be really tough. This is probably going to come down to a race more than anything. Oh, and that... We'll see, we'll see. This map is still 100%. Definitely hard enough that Milena is not guaranteed to make it, but with such a big cushion, you never know. Ember calling it early. But I don't know, that setup at the end is a pretty precise timing with that jump height. Time will tell, and that'll do it. Milena, first round of tiebreaker, gonna take it. Moving on to losers finals against Raito. Let Ember finish this one out. Still gonna let Ember go for it. Get that practice in. And you know, even though in tiebreakers it is just first player to the finish wins, it's somewhat of a spiritual victory, you know, still making it through. It doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. But Milena moving on. We're gonna get Raito in here. I don't even think we're gonna have to cut to a break.